Donald Trump, is on trial in New York City. Apparently, Robert De Niro went down there to comment on it.
I mean, more power to him, but I saw that some reporter basically said he was there with Biden advisors, basically. And it just is this odd tick that the Biden campaign or like the White House seems to have. Because remember when Matthew McConaughey came out and tried to sell gun control to the world at the press, like at the White House? I don't know. I mean, I get it's a problem and he's not really speaking that well at this point in his life, Biden, but I don't know if celebrity surrogates are the way to go.
Well, the idea is that you wanted to attract attention to people focus on the deliberations of the jury.
Sure.
And Donald Trump, and I get that. It's just that, and maybe De Niro speaks to a certain segment of the population that is Donald Trump fans. Maybe. I don't know. There may be a theory behind it. I'm not sure. But here is Fox's Sean Duffy speaking with Trump spokesperson Alina Habba. I think she was his attorney, and then somebody realized, like, she's not good at the attorney thing, so maybe she's just better talking.
She's got talents, though.
Didn't she, like, forget to file stuff all the time? Has that happened, like, multiple times? Not good with the details, but a great talker. And here's Sean Duffy. They're coming up with competing sort of like conspiracy theories as to what's going to help Trump or not help Trump here in terms of Memorial Day. Here is Duffy and Habba.
And on Tuesday, I spent 10 years in a courtroom, and I have never seen a judge say, we're going to wait a week after the evidence closes to actually do closing arguments and then give jury instructions. This is unheard of. But I'm going to tell you what, there's a silver lining in this, Alina. Donald Trump needs a juror or jurors who are driven by justice to fight for him. I don't want a juror on Thursday or Friday going into Memorial Day weekend to go, you know what, I got a party going on. I want to end this case early. So starting on Tuesday, there's nothing on the calendar. We're not going into a holiday weekend. I think it could bode well for President Trump, for those people on the jury who understand the law and the facts to fight for him and fight for justice. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. The only counter argument to that, and of course it's the lawyer and me to give you the counter, but the counter argument to that is these are not sequestered jurors.
True.
They should have been sequestered because, in my opinion, these jurors are handling something that is completely unprecedented and unwarranted in America. And for them to be able to be out and about on a holiday weekend with friends and families who have opinions, who are watching the news, TV's on the background at the pool party, I have serious concerns. If they're left-winging and they're watching MSDNC, as my client calls it, or CNN, they're not going to get fair news. They're going to hear, but by the way, they have been saying that this case is a hoax, which is shocking. But they know that the jurors are out there listening, and I have concerns about that.
All right, pause it for 1 second. I want to catch you up here, because if you're not a Fox News listener, you wouldn't know how to decipher what you just heard. Duffy wanted to sound positive. His argument was, like, you don't want people going into a Memorial Day weekend. You don't want them to rush their judgment. Now, of course, had the judge done that, and had they come out with a judgment on Friday after having deliberated for a week in the way that Duffy wanted, you can be sure that their talking points would be, the fix is in. The fix is in. They wanted it. They wanted the pressure of the Memorial Day weekend. Who doesn't want a 3-day weekend? Everybody does, and that's what went on there. But then once they clear that, then they come back with this, which is even CNN and MSNBC are calling the trial a hoax. But to the extent that they're not, that could dissuade, tell people that it's not a hoax, and they're, these jurors might be hanging around with people who heard that it was not a hoax from the places that are saying that it's a hoax. So the fix is in, and in other words, there's no ruling that is going to, there's no way that Donald Trump can be found guilty and this have been a legitimate trial.
They're going to appeal on these grounds, most likely. I mean, they're basically setting this up where if he ends up losing, they're going to say there was some sort of bias in the jury, and that'll be at least one argument that they go with.
time can be on your side. Sometimes you're right there. But in this instance, I have worries about them going back to whatever friends might have Trump derangement syndrome, forgetting all sense of reality and coming back and sitting in that box and saying, you know what, I've got to take one for the DNC. I don't want that. I want law to fact, because if we can get that, we will win. We will not just get a hung jury, we will get an acquittal. So let's see.
But you had 5 weeks where those jurors were probably interacting with those same left-wingers. They got to see Donald Trump in the Bronx and all the love and support he got from communities that you normally don't see with Donald Trump. I want to pivot this because...
Yeah.
Communities you normally don't see.
There were hundreds of people there.
There really were. That's pretty funny. Trump derangement syndrome.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.